In presenting it figures, we... that's the wrong figure. How'd you ever get in here? Let's start again. Kraft presents it figures featuring people you all know. The grocery store operator. His dairy clerk. A shopper. Dairy space competition. He really swings out, doesn't he? Well, well, a human being. Welcome, sir. This is Joe, a Kraft salesman. Joe, like all Kraft salesmen, tries hard to boost his sales. And he knows dairy has a big sales potential. But Joe has problems. The worst, probably, is the way that character, Dairy Space Competition, keeps cutting him down. He cuts the store operator down even more, but the store operator has so much else on his mind. Look here, mister. Dairy Space Competition couldn't hurt you as much if you had more refrigerated display space. Study the record of dairy sales and profits and you'll see. You probably know you can use more help, too. Your dairy clerk is a hard-working gal, but she has a lot to do besides taking care of the dairy department.
The stock in the dairy case is getting low, he says, and I says, what stock? I sweep floors, I work the checkout stand. There's not much cheese at all in the case except a slow-moving brand. Well, let 'em take that. I got to mark the prices for the grocery department. Busy little bee, that's me. Not my job, but he tells me I do it. Sweep the floor, stamp prices for the grocery department. Poor guy. Too busy to bother about the dairy department. So am I.
Too little display space for the dairy department. Not enough help to keep the dairy department in order. What's the result? A jumble.
I'll get to it as soon as I can, sweetie. The products people want, out of stock. Well, I can't be in 3 places at once.
And look who's coming.
I'll buy it if I know it, if I see it. But I don't see it, so I don't buy.
Lost sales. And to complicate the situation, here's that man again. Look what he's doing now, subjecting the store operator to price-cutting pressures. More unknown, unadvertised brands dumped into the case. Crowding out brands customers want. The fast-selling advertised products that deserve a good display from the standpoints of both profit and customer demand. Too often, the last salesman who calls, not store personnel or profit considerations, determines display size. Joe, you just got to get through to the store operator for his own sake as well as for yours. You, like every Kraft salesman, are recognized nationally as a dairy department consultant. Yes, you are. Looks good, too. And it means you're an expert in helping store operators realize all possible profit from dairy departments. Come on, Joe, try getting through to him. That's it. He knows you, he respects you. You can help him develop a dairy department that produces 10 to 14% of the gross profit, and at the same time act as a store traffic builder. But as a Kraft consultant, you've got to go still farther. Show the store operator how to wring every possible penny of profit from every square foot of space in his dairy department. Give him the facts and the figures. These progressive grocer figures are real eye-openers. Profit per square foot per week of store space in well-managed supermarkets. Produce averages $1.33 gross profit per square foot per week. Meat, $1.69. Bakery, $1.89. Tell them to hold on, Joe. Here it comes. Dairy, $3.15 per week per square foot. The highest of any department in the stores. So far, so good, Joe. He's got a picture now of what can be done in his own operation. The next step is to help him make a study of his dairy department. He probably hasn't realized the importance of it because dairy is usually hidden under this key of the cash register and is usually supervised by a manager whose primary interest is meat or groceries. So what? That's no obstacle, is it, Joe? Have him take a look at the plan. The plan is a new plan, but its effectiveness has been proven. And it will show that a well-balanced dairy department boosts store profits. no matter who supervises dairy. First, Joe gets the figures on his fast-moving items. When you have the figures, you'll... No, Joe, not this figure. You want the sales figures. Have to watch these salesmen all the time. That's better. Figures tell you 60% of dairy purchases are made on impulse. So products that customers like must always be handy, where the customer can see and reach for them. To make this clear to your friend, let's represent fast-moving items with a blue band. That's the way. Impress it on his mind. Next, represent slower-moving duplications with orange. Non-dairy items as black. Now, here's the way to start those extra profits rolling in, Joe. Fast-selling items need extra space, enough so they don't go out of stock for the heavy buying of rush hours. Help your friend to remove slow-selling duplications. They're stealing space that could be making a faster profit. Remove non-dairy items from the dairy section. Give them a place to themselves. They steal profits here, and they also confuse the shopper. Now there's a chance to allocate space to each item based on its actual sales volume. Blue gets the most space, orange less, of course. Let them see how it works. Watch. Impulse buying.
Delicious. I'll buy it if I know it, if I see it.
And if she can reach it. But if the item she wanted hadn't been on display, bingo. There'd have been no sale, no profit. Things would have gone like this. Here's the dairy department before it had a plan.
What a mess. Want cheese? You see, herring. The operator who runs this place must be a mixed-up kid.
Sure, non-dairy items often have a high margin, but their turnover is slow.
Nope.
And what good are high-profit items that don't sell? Especially when they take the space fast-selling items ought to have. And when the fast-selling items are out of stock, they're profit lost.
I can't restock during rush hour, sweetie. I have to operate the cash register.
The store operator without a dairy plan is familiar with this, too, Joe. Out of stock, too bad. He offers her a substitute. Just as good, lady, just as good. Watch now.
Thinks he can pawn off a substitute on me, eh?
You do remember situations like this, don't you? I'm helping you put it over, Joe. What you did by not having a stock of the fast-selling item was to virtually drive the customer out of the store into the arms of your competition, wasn't it? And with her went your profit. Joe, we're at the point now where you can make the plan stick. Offer to demonstrate how he can realize real extra profits from dairy. Tailor-make the plan for his store. The first step is to take a beginning inventory at his dairy department. The dairy clerk can help, too, by keeping a record of purchases made from store door and warehouse deliveries made during the week. At the end of each week, you take another inventory, Joe. And thus you have recorded all the facts you need to show actual sales, the beginning inventory plus weekly purchases. Subtract the end of the week inventory, and there it is, his weekly sales figure. You do this each week for a month, Joe, and then give him the figures, plus your analysis of overstocks and understocks. This is the basis for the tailor-made balanced dairy department plan. Eliminate slow-moving duplications wherever your inventory shows the space can be more profitably used by fast sellers. You've got figures. And with these figures, you and the store operator can lay out his dairy department so it will produce the most possible profit. By allocating every inch of space according to his sales potential based on your figures. Demand items are placed along the length of the case to draw traffic. Margarine, milk, butter, and eggs.
Looks like they've cleaned up the joint. Looks nice, too.
The layout of items is balanced. That is, each item is given space based on its rate of sale. Cheese is displayed in groups according to type and variety. Specialty cheese, for example, is placed together.
This is enough to make a girl squeal with delight.
Also placed together are foreign, natural, processed, and cream cheeses.
I think I will squeal with delight. Woo-woo!
Altogether, you've given the store operator an attention-getting department and a balanced case for all dairy products. Delicatessen non-dairy items are placed in a separate section, departmentalizing, the proven way of increasing all food sales.
I'll buy it if I know it because I can see it. That's a switch, huh?
The operator can't help seeing, Joe. His past experience shows the out-of-stock problem will be greatly reduced. The dairy clerk will take a new interest in keeping the case spotless. She also has a much sounder basis for reordering. More, the slow-moving duplications have been removed. Stock turnover is rapid. Every dairy item is always fresh.
Diddle-dee-dee, happy as can be.
Out-of-date returns are at a minimum. And the climaxing argument, Joe, wherever the balanced dairy department has been put into effect, its sales have increased 14 to 37%, with 8 to 20% of the increase being in high-margin items like cheese. Some record to show a man, eh, Joe? That did it. You got through to him. And as an accepted member of the grocer's team, you can go ahead now to demonstrate how well the balanced dairy plan can be adapted to handling price and seasonal specials.
Feel more important, I do.
You can suggest other good merchandising ideas, such as easy-to-see price and flavor card, the proper rotation of stock, ensuring fresh merchandise. You can help stimulate a real product knowledge in all dairy personnel.
Well, what do you know? Who'd ever think it?
When you get through to him, Joe, with the tailor-made plan for his store, the plan that increases his profits, your stature as a dairy consultant goes up, and so do your own sales. The figures are proven figures, Joe. Figures that, well, persistent little thing, aren't you? All right, we've finished with the other kind of figures for now anyway. Let's look at this kind for a while.